Well, hey, it's Thursday. And you know what that means. Why, it means you get to hang out with me, disembodied Troy. Today, your pal, Duke, the Duke in Propel.
In Propel?
In Propel. And we are talking about, we're continuing our conversations around the Slumberer's Burden, which is our long-running series of design challenges and ideas around crafting the perfect TTRPG using the age system. Of course, the age system, the Thursday age system, is the adventure game engine.
Indeed.
I want to know if chat can hear me.
Come on, do you hear us? Say something.
Here we are. We've got someone accusing us of fibbing.
I mean, we're only 5 minutes late. That's basically in time.
We started at 3 after.
Oh, see, yeah.
So we're early. But you know,
Yeah.
that's some tech stuff we had to take care of.
As usual.
You know, that's just the way it works. I'm going to share my screen here pretty soon, but I don't know if folks in chat can hear us.
I'm not sure. If you hear something, say something.
We can.
And the
This
music is
not
Mumamo.
Mumamo. It's not. This is our classic song called Cocktail. Those are original. I knew it's a little bit longer than our new stuff, and where our new stuff is getting a little tweak, which I'm looking forward to. That's right. Let me see. Let's do this. Howdy, pal.
It's me.
It's
Hey
you.
there.
Looking good.
It is I. I am healthy again.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yes.
Our buddy ran out there tackling the travails of parenthood and will join us again on a future stream.
Indeed.
The new music, we're getting it retooled. It's going to be generally the same. I just need something a little longer. You know.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah, we will figure it out. So today we're going to be using the Sage template. And I'm gonna share. Did I already share? Yes, I did. Let's see what happens to your face when I share this.
I will probably display surprise.
All right, show now.
It first gets bigger, apparently. Now it gets smaller.
There we go.
Look at that.
So this is the template, and now I need to verify with Malcolm the veracity of this claim, but I believe I can share this with people at some point.
Yes.
So this is essentially the story build. This is how to manage. Oh, why are you getting smaller and weirder? You see yourself moving?
I see myself moving, like everything that's like whoop, 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 whoop.
Why is it doing that?
I don't know.
That's so funny.
I'm innocent.
Yeah, no. I thought for some reason, I don't know why. Yeah, you couldn't move your thing around. I don't know. Who can
Because she is innocent of this crime.
Certainly not me. But I want people to be able to read this. So there we go. Write a summary of our story in 200 words or less. We're going to come back to that. Yeah.
let's start at the top and realize, nah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you know, I mean, so essentially, just for those who may be tuning in for the first time, we're working on what we're calling affectionately the Slumberer's Burden. The quick walk through the story. It's about a ginormous dragon that some eons ago crashed into a planet, causing great upheaval and tumult, and then died. Is it sleeping?
Did it die?
We don't know.
Is it alive?
These people, the people that were displaced by the violent upheavals of this giant, and we're talking massive, like this dragon was like 300 atom bombs on the surface of this planet. And the people that survived that massive upheaval decided to do what you would do. I mean, what anyone would do, really, and that was move into the mouth.
Yeah. I mean, that was later on. It's not like the dragon crashed and people were like, you know what? That's our home now.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of time there before that happened. But yes.
But they did move into the mouth. And
yeah, they did.
Yeah.
And onto the
then
back.
They also built another city on its back in the icy spires. And so these are capital cities, so they're massive. And the story revolves around a couple points. One is the continued struggle and friction between the two cities. One which is very, very severe and dour, I would say, very serious. And then the other, which is kind of not. The kind of, it's the sultry maw of a dragon and then the other kind of other story is that trying to unravel what the heck this thing is doing. Is it alive? Is it dead? Is it a natural formation? Well, we know that's not true, but some people believe that. I know the sultry maw, and that's nice. And the other is it actually just hibernating and using these people, assembling them over time in its mouth because it intends to eat them?
I mean, you gotta have a snack when you wake up.
That's
it's
right.
Only natural.
When I go to bed at night, I fill my mouth with food. I wake up and I'm like, yum yum.
No. You don't fill your mouth with food while you go to sleep. You go to sleep, then the food just settles
Moves
in your
in.
mouth for
Right.
some reason, moves in, and then you wake up and go like, well.
Monocricket says dragon ambush predators of the swords. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's how you eat all the spiders in your life.
That's right. Paul says, I think I used to go drinking at the sultry maw. That's right. But the idea, it made sense at the time to these folks and to the designers, the developers of this little thing that was supposed to be a battle map. Yeah, we've grown. But the dragon, that it's filled with resources. It was ginormous. It offered shelter and safety and the things necessary to survive. And so that's what they did. So, all right. So this little document that you're looking at is actually a sneak peek of what you're going to see as a support tool for Sage, which is just the simple adventure game engine. And Malcolm appeared last week and we shared our work. And I felt really great about the conversation. I know that you were in chat. You weren't feeling so hot, but you were still in chat. What did you think about some of the insights that Malcolm provided?
I loved it. As always, Malcolm does this for a living. So he is a wise voice in the void of our existence.
In earnest, in experience. So we had Malcolm on and he gave us some really solid advice and gave us this little breakdown. And so what I believe the way that this is going to turn, or this is going to actually turn into a
Sage supplement,
a form that you can fill out to help people create for the simple for Sage.
Yes.
And so that's what we're doing. So the reason I want to skip this because I think that we can write a summary that is that captures all the things I just said without sitting here forcing people to watch us. And let's just go over it. Cool over consistent. Suggesting you revisit your summary periodically implies revisiting other things about your build periodically. Oh, yep. Okay. And if you want, you should. And if you want to, you should. This includes the rules. Sage is not a physics, biology, and psychology simulator. Its rules are story toys. That means that if the genre or tone of your game shifts, you should feel justified in changing the rules. The laws of the universe aren't changing, just the rules that influence what happens in the story. There's no baseline reality to respect. The only exceptions are when the story touches on the nature of reality in some sense, such as when the rules for magic or other powers are based on their in-world premise. In that case, any change must still fit the premise. Okay. So the setting. What's the nature of the world where the story takes place? Answer in 1,000 words or less. And so this is where we'll want to get into. So 1,000 words might not be enough to present the full majesty of your game's world, especially for us. But it should be enough to knock out the primary ideas. You don't need to explain the primary conflict or other things that represent the story action, but orient the group, including you, the setting designer or designers, to become familiar enough to make sensible decisions for characters living in the setting. Keep the following facets of your setting in mind. So so we'll just do some shorthand, but it's inside a dragon, inside and within and atop a dragon.
Yep.
A giant dragon. Let's see. Do we want to say warring cities? Two warring capital cities?
I mean, they're not really warring. They're more like at odds with each other, I think.
Well, they do kind of have like skirmishes and things. They're certainly not at peace.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's go with warring.
Okay. All right. Two warring capital cities, and maybe that goes into places. I'm just going to type that anyway, just because we're typing it. So,
sure.
Two warring capital cities. One in the ice and snow, the other in the sultry maw.
Yes, we will. We love the sultry maw. We will use this. Maybe that's the name of the supplement when it
the sultry maw.
The sultry maw.
That should at least be a bar in the
definitely.
Yeah.
And it had like the entrance is just like the dragon.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You walk in through a dragon's mouth. Distilling things down into an elevator pitch is a vital skill to have as a GM. If you can't let the players know what your game is about without giving them an hour-long lecture, absolutely. Yeah. And and it's kind of interesting. Okay, I like that. I like this. Stan suggests too adversarial.
Yeah, that sounds. Thanks, Stan.
That's better. Two adversarial capital cities, one in the ice and snow and the other in the sultry maw. Okay, and what else do we want to say? The primary conflict is I would say the primary is the dragon alive, is the dragon dead? The state of the dragon.
Yeah, that's the base idea, at least.
Yeah, is the main plot point.
Main plot point, or it's the MacGuffin. It's the mystery.
And then the secondary stuff is all the political machinations of the various parties trying to, unravel that, right? So we'll say
A Tale of Two Cities.
All of the political intrigues and what do they call that? The back and forth, I guess intrigues, that's fine. All the political intrigues amongst the groups that
lead
the two cities.
Yeah.
And then that would include the at least I think it would also include our friends, the shepherds, which are the small little dragon like
exactly. I was just about to say like but that's maybe not a political intrigue directly. Yeah. It's more like the shepherds are their own thing. It's a mystery around the shepherds and the
Malcolm shepherds. Yeah.
The Malcolm shepherds, yes. I still think like the prime shepherd that left the shepherds and became the leader of the Pragmatherium, that guy is called Malcolm. But
yeah, fair enough. Is that how you spell shepherds? Why does that feel so weird? Shepherd.
I think it's shepherds. I've seen so many versions of this.
I know, right? Anyway, you know what it is. Shepherds. My
I think
shepherds.
Malcolm is with a bunch of A's, I think. But
shepherds.
let me.
Yeah. Anyway, you know what it is. The shepherds.
Shepherd. Yeah, it's SHEPHERD is the official spelling for a shepherd.
The correct one might say.
The correct one, the one that we will use.
Okay.
Sorry, Malcolm.
So that's the nature of the world. You know what? Maybe I want to add something else here. Post-apocalyptic, right?
I mean, yes, though it's so post-apocalyptic that it epicleptic. It's so post the apocalypse that it's almost not really giving the feeling anymore to like the vibe of the world you live in doesn't feel apocalyptic anymore because the previous world died so long ago that a new world was built on top and kind of washed away all the weird stuff. I mean, sure, the area around the dragon is still a wasteland, except for the city. But otherwise, I think it's recovering.
Okay, I'm going to put very post-apocalypse, and then we'll come back to that. The shepherds. You don't need to explain the primary conflict, okay, but orient the group, including you, the setting designer, done to become familiar with enough sensible decisions for characters living in the setting. Okay. So we've got, I'm going to actually do this because that kind of is the same thing. I'll get rid of this. So yeah, it's 2 adversarial capital cities, one in the ice and snow, the other in the sultry maw within and atop a giant dragon. The state of the dragon is the main plot point, and then all of the political intrigues amongst the groups that make up the 2 cities,
as well as the mysteries surrounding the dragon's existence.
Also, the mysteries of the shepherds. Say that again. No, say you say what you just said one more time because I think it's different than what I wrote.
I think it left my brain the second I said it. Also, the mystery that revolve around the existence of the dragon. I think that was what I said. So because that encompasses more than just the shepherds, but also like the general thing that it's weird.
How do I want to put that in here? Because I think I smell what you're stepping in.
The mysteries that revolve. Oh God, what did I say?
Mysteries that because we say and all of the political intrigues amongst the groups that make up the 2 cities, which could incorporate that, right? Because they're some of these.
Sure, but the political intrigue is only a facet. Like the mystery around the shepherds is hardly political. I think. I mean. Everything is political.
The mysteries of the dragon's existence is what you said.
The mysteries that revolve around the existence of the dragon, yeah.
The state
including
of
the shepherds.
The mystery. The mystery of the dragon's existence.
Existence is what Paul Roy just said. Yeah, that was the phrase I used.
And then all of the political intrigues among the group make up the 2 cities,
including the shepherds.
And then I'll say this in secondary, including. I'll just say including the shepherds. Okay,
the shepherds. So, do we mention the third faction or not?
What's the you mean the outsiders?
Yeah, we have the like the 2 cult parts, and we have the third part that kind of is led by the wayward ex-shepherd.
Right, and so then
I think we can just let's see.
I'm going to just say this. I'm going to say, and then the political intrigues amongst the groups that make up the 2 cities. and the
Factions.
trouble making outsiders. Think of the two cities and the troublemaking outsiders,
As well as
the
as well as the shepherds.
As well as the shepherds. Okay, so that's weird, but we'll. I mean, it needs some wordsmithery, but we'll do that at another time.
That's true.
And so that this doesn't necessarily go into detail. It does give you the kind of a straight sort of idea of. But do you think it's missing the premise of? So we talk about the nature of the world. I'm going to do this. The world was destroyed by a
devastated. Sorry, I didn't want to impose.
What's that?
I didn't want to impose, but it devastated seems more apt.
The world was devastated by. The world was devastated when a massive dragon crashed into it, causing upheaval and
apocalyptic.
And causing
effects.
Upheaval that changed the landscape. Of the planet, of the entire planet, we'll say. Fast forward, how many millennia? What are we saying here?
I mean, I would say it's been like a couple millennia. Like you kind of need, after this kind of happenstance, at least a couple thousand, like
millennia.
A handful of millennia. We don't know. It could be 1, it could be 5. Who knows to say?
Some time has passed enough that two adversarial cities were founded. One in the ice and snow, the other in the sultry maw. Both within and atop a giant dragon. The state of the dragon. The main plot. Okay, let's see. The primary conflict. Let's just say the story revolves around the state of the dragon, and I think that probably I'm going to just leave a little note for us in the future. We'll put let's say reference historical historical details here. Just a paragraph that says the world was in ruins. These people needed safe passage, or they needed to find shelter. They found it inside the dragon after untold time. Yeah,
after untold time. That's very nice. I like that.
I do like that. Let's see. All right. So, and we'll add the historical details later, but that's all the stuff that we've talked about to date. Places, we've got that stuff pretty much hammered out. So start with places important to the protagonist and the story, and build outward when desired. A classic fantasy roleplay location is the hometown, inhabited by helpful innkeepers and merchants, but also by farmers suffering from the goblin raids. And so we're talking about the cities. And so were we in agreement that the two starting places will be either Etheria or
Fornax?
I was going to say Valtrex, but that's not it.
Valtrex also sounds nice. I'm open for name changes.
I think Valtrex is great, but I don't know what it's for. So no. Oh yeah, it's for Cold Source. So whatever. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so we want. Let me get to our documents, which we have made public. I do remember. Let's see here. This is for Nax with an X, right?
Yep. Fornax. Yeah, Fornax. I was sorry. I was. Whenever I spell things, I kind of get stuck between English and German, and that
I could
usually
hear it.
comes
I was
out
wondering
as
if that was what was
Chinese.
going on.
It's very strange.
So we're gonna just steal the. So that'll be the starting points, right? The starting places, and we will. I'm just gonna put this here.
I mean, it kind of depends, maybe a little bit how the upcoming adventure, so to say, is going to start. If it is a thing where things start inside of the city because the people who are adventurers already live there, sure, then it's one of those two cities or both or whatever. But if the adventurers are not from the city, then there should be a settlement that's away.
I thought about that
the
very
dragon.
same thing. That's very interesting. So let's talk about this. So we've got the two cities, and there is a certain sort of reckoning that we have to do with. Let the GM pick, or sort of tell the tale and provide that guidance, which of course that we want to make sure that that's always an option. And then, or is there a third place where these adventurers come across, the problems that are happening, in Dragon Maw or whatever?
Exactly. So if like it could, I think it would be more interesting as a starting point to have adventurers who do not come from that place, and therefore encounter the weirdness of that place in the same frame of mind as the players do.
So
because they have no idea what's going on there.
This does lend itself to supporting the outsiders. Maybe they've got like a big trading village, and there's kind of stuff going on there.
Yeah, I think it would be like an outpost settlement that sits like in between the next bigger place outside in the world and the dragon, because of this wasteland thing. So there's not a lot of settlements around the dragon, but there's this one like trading post, outpost kind of settlement that manages travel to and from the dragon to the rest of civilization.
So maybe what we do is we set up that third outpost, that sort of kind of make it so that it's like a like the Wild West. Like it's a settlement town. It's trying to
That's exactly my idea that I had. Like not necessarily themed like the Wild West, but kind of the idea is the same.
Yeah, rough and tumble kind of space, and then that's where the GM can provide like the threads. Hey, you need to take this to Fornax. They need the whatever. Here,
medication for whatever.
Yeah. Take this Valtrex to the people in Fornax because they need help. Let's see. So Tempo asks, how advanced are each of the cities? Bronze Age, Medieval, Renaissance, or even on the level of Aldous? I was thinking Aldous. I really was thinking like pretty advanced, but not
modern advanced, but more like sorcery, like magician techno advanced, it's fairly modern, but without the normal mundane shit attached. Like I think the first thing for today.
We've got plenty of shits in the shit bucket, but it's
that's the other okay. I didn't go with the F1. That's where we get problems. I will leave at least one of those later on at some point.
All right.
It suddenly happened. You will not be prepared.
Paul says, "No one's ever prepared." It says, "Okay, this is a story build. Does that mean we're building a setting suitable for a host of narratives or a single narrative within the setting?" I think we're building the setting suitable for a host of narratives.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the setting should support a host of narratives, and we offer like one narrative idea with the thing as an introduction basically to the thing. That obviously doesn't solve the entire mystery about the thing, because that would be stupid, but that introduces into the thing and then leads off to more mystery in the backhand, so to say.
And that gives the GM the opportunity to, given the story resources at their fingertips, to create and sort of drive people in whatever whatever they decide, or just
exactly, and like giving enough background ideas so that the little story that we have is influenced by the realities that the GM or the players decide upon, but it's still its own thing and is only influenced by these changes or these decisions upon how the reality actually looks like, so that the GM has a way to like dial in their thing.
I like this because now this does give us an opportunity to show off a little bit more of the post-apocalyptic.
Yes.
So, like, we could do we'd have all kinds of fun with this. Just the journey to the cities, now what do we want to call if we're in the outpost, I put outpost city, we can call it whatever we want. But what would the outpost, how would they refer to the cities within and atop the dragon? Would they call it would they if you were going to visit this, would you just be like, oh, you got to go to the dragon? We're on a quest to the dragon. Is that, or would they refer to it in another way? Like, head to the Fool's Bluff, or the
I think because it sounds better, they would have like some sort of synonymous colloquial name for that thing. Because just calling it the dragon is a bit on the nose, so they could call it like the scaled maw, or even the sultry maw, or they could call it the reptile upheaval, whatever, some
I think it should be
some
something
colorful thing that makes
derides them for like kind of making fun of them a little bit,
giving a bit more cultural flavoring and not just like a matter of fact here. Yeah, that looks like a dragon, so we call it the dragon.
Yeah, I do like that, and so I'm just gonna make a note because we don't necessarily have to make those decisions now.
No, exactly.
Yeah, and so we're gonna seek a colloquial. That's not how you spell it, is it? I think seek a colloquial name for outsiders for the outsiders to refer to the cities,
dragon area,
on the dragon. And that's that's an interesting opportunity for people to get a kind of perspective. Now, Paul mentions this. In that case, you're establishing the setting. You probably want to look at 4 major settings, and I agree with this because I think that there is 4 major settings. There's the outpost city, there's Fornax, there's Etheria, and the environment to get there. The post-apocalyptic environment. So, that's great.
Mm-hmm. Also, I think, there probably aren't just Fornax and Etheria. Those are just the big ones. There probably are like little settlements all over the dragon directly. Like you can find like little farms that are not affiliated to one or the other. That are just there. Sure.
Maybe there's some reason that they, well, it's like a city then, like, because it's dense and then it kind of spreads out, and,
exactly.
And there could be, lots of interesting, fun things we can play around with there. But for this, we'll say, so it's the 2 cities, it's the outpost city, and then I'm going to put the environment, because we haven't really named the planet.
True.
So the environment. Oops. Why did I put this right in the middle? I didn't want to do that here. Do this. And this. Bold it just so I can find it later. And the environment is all the surrounding land.
Wherever you're typing, we can't see it.
You can see it
right now. I
can
can't see
see
what
it.
you're typing.
Well, I can see it on the screen.
I don't see what you're typing. I only see the like the city thing. Oh, it's behind the thingamabob. It's behind the
Almost.
display.
Yeah. Okay.
Little
Yeah.
the
Maybe
Paul
it's
Ruhr's
yeah.
pop up. Yeah.
Cool. And then so then that fourth place is the environment surrounding all the surrounding environs on the way to the dragon.
And the fifth setting, Paul Ruhr says, the world beyond the dragon, establish what it's like and why people would want to travel to the dragon and why people would choose not to. I guess.
So to me, it's four. To me, it's four. Help me out, Paul, because I've got the Etheria, Fornax, the outpost city where the everything begins, and the environment. That's four by my count.
We have two environments. We have the environment around the dragon, which is the wastelands, and we have the civilization outside of the wastelands that the rest of the world inhabits.
Which is the outpost city, right?
The outpost city is within the wastelands because it's the middle point between the wasteland, between the dragon, the wasteland, and the outside world.
Okay, I don't know if I'm following. So. Story opens. Story opens. We are in the outpost city. That's the first major space that we're defining. They get one of three threads, right? Like go to deliver this to the Fornaxians, and the Etherians need this, or I need this special root of the dragon farts or whatever, and you've got to go, and to get there you go through the wastelands. And then you arrive at either Fornax or Etheria. So that's four areas to me.
That is true. But you have the outpost city, but the outpost city sits within the wastelands at the halfway point between the dragon and the actual outside world where the rest of the people came from.
Oh, I thought I wouldn't know.
And this outside world also needs some sort of definition. So
I'm seeing the hold on. I'm seeing the outpost as the outside world.
No. The outside.
I mean,
the outpost city is it is like the outwardmost part of the outside world, but because it sits within the wasteland, it is under very special circumstances, opposed to the rest of the world that probably was not as affected by the dragon, or at least not anymore. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I guess from my. Let's do this. Let's not define the stuff outside, because I think you're right. We can talk about this, but it's less important than the conversation of.
Oh, definitely. Yes. It's
important, but it's for me. I feel like we're defining the spaces people will be traveling through for this bit of the story. So they start in the outpost city, and that's one major setting. The wastelands is another. That's what you're going through to get to the other settings, which is the two cities. One of the two cities, right?
Yeah. I mean, but I think it should be established that this outpost city sits inside of the wasteland. So wherever you go, you have to go through the wasteland. If you go home, like to the outside world, or if you go to the dragons, doesn't matter. You have to go through the wastelands, which is like Mad Max Badlands.
Right. Got you. And it could be argued that this is an outpost city on a planet with many of these outpost cities, because they haven't quite built back from the destruction of the dragon. Like that's just what it is. I mean, it could be that as well.
Could be that. Although, I mean, if we're talking about a couple millennia, then I think they would have built back by now. That seems weird otherwise.
Yeah, we can debate that, and then also I think the perfect thing to bring up as a poll, like. Let's talk about what goes on, because I do think it's important to define what's going on outside this. What things look like. I don't think that things are much more advanced than within the cities, right? So maybe there is another big city somewhere, but
I think the outside world is a classical fantasy medieval world, whereas like the cultures that live in Fornax and in Etheria are much more advanced because they have access to whatever the dragon provides, which is a bunch of magic plus
Yeah.
X that the rest of the world doesn't have, or at least not in such abundance, which is
Gotcha.
a reason for the people from the outside to go to the dragon because they don't have those resources and need them.
Right. Gotcha.
So we have motivation for the world to interact with this.
Yeah. And there could be actually a lot of demotivation, like a lot of don't go there, don't do that. Like,
because of the wasteland. The wasteland is horrible. It's like that's monsters.
The wasteland is one aspect, but there, here are some of the stories that are coming out of, people that come back are cuckooed, or they're these people are so isolationist that or something like, but I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do believe this is also a really great place to potentially introduce the shepherds in
Definitely.
that other party, and maybe there is there could be a support for their resistance.
I'm sure that the outsiders have a large presence inside of that outpost city.
Yeah,
because if their goal is we need to make sure this dragon never wakes up again by killing it, preferably, then they need people to help them, and the people on the dragon won't because they're cuckoo and they're under influence. So they need people from the outside to recruit. So they will probably have a big garrison or whatever in that outpost city.
Right. Or at least as a group of people on the lookout for potential folks to help.
A big quest board.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, great. So this is we're talking about the peoples. With all our brains on fantasy gaming, we might be thinking about elves and other fantasy people, but sometimes it's not about elves, but the French. Or Darrow from the Shaver Mystery, look it up, it's weird. Or the members of Par Death, a golf-based street gang in some combination of Escape from New York and the Warriors. This is great. That's classic Malcolm. Tell us about the prominent people of your setting, usually starting with prospective PCs, unless they have some unusual origin that makes them members of obscure groups. So we'll just say Malcolm the Shepherd.
Definitely.
The shepherd. And we've got, we do have some, I'm looking in this one sheet. So the political groups, we have the guilds, the waft wardens, and the undercroft. This is the Fornaxians. Looking at, I'm not seeing. I'm reading. The Gullet Gardens. Draconic Imperior as the title for the king-like figure, the clergy being state sect that claims them to be a holy site of a dragon god, but not a dragon itself. So looks like we need we have the guilds, which is a collection of mercantile groups, and the waft wardens, which are a loosely organized spiritual order. So those are the religious folks. And the undercroft is the shadowy, unofficial network of old families and black marketeers who control the flow of illicit, forbidden goods and information. So I think that we need like the mayor, or the what do you want to call it, the principality, the people who the folks who are in charge.
Okay. In both cities, you mean?
Yeah. Or Malcolm the Shepherd is in the we'll just say this, the outpost.
Yep.
And then let me check.
I think Fornax probably has like a presidential figure, like a king, but they also have a senate of noble and rich people whom decide in a group what should happen in the city, because it's like a borderline oligarchy. And I think Etheria will probably have a strong man that leads them, like a
Let's see. Let's
leader
see
that
what. Well, I
decides.
want to make sure that we're keeping in keeping with what's already been planned, and so
Mhm.
it looks like other details. Celebrated mythical figures. Wow. Yeah, we've got. Okay, so we've already got. There's already stuff here, and I'm going to do.
Okay.
So there's the Chine clan, and they
Mhm.
are their families. They're like a family of rulers, and they let me see here. Find. I'm gonna do this right. Cha. Whoa. I'm gonna put Etheria, Etheria, and so that's great. Let me see. And it talks. Yeah. So Ren's put a bunch of stuff together on. There's like the Deep Frost Cartel. They also talked about different leaders, mythical figures. Okay, interesting. Okay, and then stopped at notable individuals. So there's more work to be done here, but I'm just putting this down here now, just so we know
Mhm.
that that's the thing. And
Awesome.
then now for Fornax, that's your baby. So how do you want to birth that baby?
So yeah, I think that Fornax has like a king,
Okay.
but it's more like a Caesar. Like it's a leader that is voted by a Senate like voted in by a Senate like structure to rule over the thing. But all of the people in the Senate are not voted by the people. They are nobles and rich people who just are better than the rest of the folks, and thus come into a position of power to participate in however the power is doled out to the actual people.
I like that. And so we need the king, and then we probably need like a couple key political figures, right?
Yeah, like he probably has either it's a king or a queen. We don't know. We can figure that out, or something in between. But we will probably need to have some sort of ministers that are like presiding over certain political obligations that are from this Senate, basically. So
Yes, right. Yeah, main characters from the Senate, like
yeah,
so we'll call it a
exactly.
queen. It's the queen.
A queen.
And
Nice.
then in power as a result of decisions made by the Senate, made up of noble families, which
Mm-hmm.
is, I'll say, and then so we'll say like key Senate figures,
Yep.
and then we need I know that we also need.
We need the religious head
That's
for
right. Yeah.
for
And
the
this is
like let's
the waft
the
wardens
thing.
then.
The Waft Wardens were the people who think that the dragon isn't a dragon, or were they the people who think that
They
I
are a
kind of
loosely organized spiritual order, often drawn from those who have spent too long in the deep, warm places. They interpret the dragon's tremors, mists, winds, and hums as the divine omens and prophetic whispers, often clashing with the goals of the pragmatic guilds. The guilds, not a single governing body, but a powerful mercantile guild, each controlling access to specific geyser lines or rich fungal growths. They act as informal houses. So that's kind of this group. They're maybe not noble
yeah.
families, but
That's a stepping off point.
yeah,
That's a point how you get up there. You need to get into the guilds, and you need rise into in the guilds, and then maybe you have a chance to rise into the Senate at some point.
that are part of the guilds. We'll call it the guilds. That's what we're calling it. That's what we say. So the guilds, and so the key figures still. We can still call it the Senate. That's fine. And then there's we need a waft warden key figure or figures. And then and then there's the shadowy unofficial network of old families and black marketeers who control the flow of illicit or forbidden goods.
Oh,
The smugglers. The smugglers.
there needs a mob. There needs to be a mob boss, basically.
Yeah.
Or at least a couple of family heads that are making up this underbelly of corruption.
Right. Yeah. And what I like about this too is that we can also make it so that it could be a shadow senate or something. You know what I mean? Like
maybe, yes.
Yeah, something like that. Okay, I like that. And then
they could be the people who dig up the dirt on some of the actual Senate people and therefore influence them in the decision making, so that the rich people Senate sometimes is not. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah. What I like about this is that this could also be the place where we could put some mechanics, like governance mechanics.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, it would be super fun to play around with that. And then so that'll be that. And so I've just put for the outpost, I just put Malcolm the Shepherd. And so does that imply that there are many of these little dragonlings, these little red dragon folk? Is Gigi the only one? You mean? I'm just wondering, if you walk through this world, do you run into more?
Oh, I mean, I think for this to be special, that the shepherds are unique on that planet. That the planet doesn't have its own dragon people.
Yeah,
the dragon people are these shepherds, and either they're part of this collective hive mind, or they're separated from that and moved out of the dragon's influence to live their life.
I think that there's a great opportunity with the Malcolm the Shepherd to tell a story about how there have been many that have broken free, which is the way he may frame it, but they may not see it that way until sometime later. They may see it as
a loss,
a disconnection. Traumatic, and
it's basically like in Star Trek when you disconnect a Borg from their hive.
That's right.
They're super confused and want back because the hive provided warmth and connection and community and some sort of strength and help mentally to that they now have to struggle with themselves, which they have to learn to live without this thing that guides them.
Yeah, awesome. So this is pretty strong. I think that we will probably find the need for some other characters to kind of, like some
definitely.
Yeah, and but as a start, I feel like that's pretty good. Now we got the factions.
That's basically a borderline copy paste of what we already came up with.
Yeah. And so, but I'm thinking that we'll do cultural norms. Where is this? I'm looking for it in. We kind of, because of our different styles, I know I can get it from this sheet, and that is, so the political groups or the factions for Fornax are the guilds, the Waft Wardens, and the Undercroft. All of this stuff, of course, subject to change. No, I want this. Just do it. Okay, great. Now let's see. Oh, that's you. Okay, now I'm switching over to. I'm reading. Political groups: the Shine Clans, the Puna, and the Deep Frost Cartel. So I'm just going to type that here, and we won't necessarily get into it because they have Ren has really gone in and actually is developed some.
Yeah, he's pumping out stuff. It's amazing.
Yeah,
I always like, hey, when do I have time to sit down and get to something? And in the time I'm thinking about it, he has basically written a book. They have written a book. It's amazing.
Okay, so we'll just do this Etheria, and I'm going to put council. The Puna, which is an ancient reclusive order who dwell on the highest, most exposed spires. They believe the dragon is a fallen star being and dedicate themselves to celestial observation.
Mm.
And then, nope, not them. Oops.
Undo.
There we go. What in the world am I doing?
I don't know what you're doing.
Puna, the Shine Clan Council, and the Deep Frost Cartel. Deep Frost Cartel, and they are a tight-knit, secretive group of black market traders and smugglers who control access to rare, high-altitude resources and illicit goods from the treacherous wing slopes of the dragon. Nice. Okay,
I'm pretty sure, like when I think about the Puna who are looking at the skies, that they already know, like they see like weird movement in the skies, and then they know that there are others out there, and they're like super concerned about telling anyone. Because they think, oh god, if more of them come here, we're royally fucked.
You're right.
There we
go. Our F budget is spent. Okay, yeah. So that's interesting. So I do like that, and I think that could be a thread that runs for both.
Later on, yes.
Also be and they could be one organization, really. You know.
Or at least in contact with each other, and in
or even diametrically opposed with two very different ideologies. But the point being that they're holding on to some secrets.
Yes,
and so that's a very interesting faction to interact with. And let's see. So figures. Who's important to the world or story besides the protagonists, besides allies, antagonists, foils, and other people defined by what they do for the story? Make note of individuals who are important as an emergent quality of the setting and your plans. For instance, if you're setting a game in 15th century Rome, Pope Alexander, the Borgia, is going to matter even if he didn't figure in the opening stages of your planning. These emergent figures can create storylines of their own. Major figures shouldn't make the player's characters' actions feel meaningless unless it's a theme you all want to explore, but they should still be potent enough to help you move the story forward. So I'm going to put this particular one on ice because I think that there are some characters of note, either historical or otherwise. And there may be characters that we introduce, NPCs that help, like, for instance, when we designed the Tooth Fell, that was housing the visiting dignitaries or whatever. There's some characters there that I think that can help, deliver the story.
Exactly. Also, like smaller characters, like smaller in terms of less important in the city, but more important to the actual characters. There should be established, like how do I frame this? Established characters that interface with the characters first, the trade leader, or the barkeep at the inn, like the people they actually have contact with, because they probably won't talk to the king. They will probably talk to the people down below, and there exactly, and there need to be contact people that are established that know things, or at least have rumors, or that believe in
or
one or
people
the other thing, that
need to
belong
be
to each
charmed
faction.
or engaged
Exactly.
with to move the
Yeah.
story forward. So it's like
Hmm.
the gatekeeper or the, depending on how
For the for the plot points. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Okay. So powers. So this is interesting. How do we are where are because we originally, when we were creating this, we were talking fantasy age,
Mhm.
and that we would utilize that wealth of information to fill in our powers and all that jazz. You still feeling good about that?
I mean, since we're trying to like implement this in Sage, that doesn't mean that we can't take influences
Oh no,
or ideas
100%.
from Sage.
I just don't want us to redesign a whole, this is how you stat up a character.
Yeah, I mean, um, yeah,
So
yeah.
let's
I mean, do you want to would you like more like have it this as a fantasy age thing, or do you want this as a Sage thing?
Well, I want to borrow from Fantasy Age the creation of and the distribution and the, all of the stuff that's been done there, but apply it in this other Sage world.
Okay. So take guidance from whatever Fantasy Age,
Yeah.
the age did, but translate it into the more broad
That's right.
Sage
Yeah. And then
things.
and
Okay,
Malcolm
sure.
might come out with some resources to help with that part of it.
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
we'll leave this here for now.
Yeah.
And because there are some things to be discussed, like
I mean,
the
the
special
yeah.
Fornax has, technology, Ethereum might as well. So
I
we
mean,
just want to talk about that.
yeah. I mean, what we should talk about is the power level, basically. What like what are usual people in the world capable of? What are adventurers capable of? And what is common? Like, is magic common in the world, or is magic just common near the dragon? Is that should be established somewhat. I think
Sure,
maybe
sure.
not right now, but
No, yeah, but I think you're right. Yeah, and I
as
think
a
that there is
precursor.
something to be
Yeah.
there is something to be said about a dragon that had such an impact on the planet, and that its magic might have twisted things around it or created,
Mhm.
imbued. Normally, what was a snake is now something else,
Yeah.
which could be
I think
interesting.
I think the world had some sort of magic, but it was rare and it was special and it was
Yeah,
insert thing here, and then the dragon crashed down and brought a whole plethora of different magic with it,
yeah,
and imbued whoever is near there with this magic, which caused the shepherds
I
to
thought.
appear, which some people will be born with special powers, whatever.
Right.
You know.
Here's a thought.
Mhm.
Thinking about the outpost, or the I'm not sorry, not the outpost, but the wastelands. It might be
Mhm.
interesting because maybe the dragon at first tried to in trying to create the caretaker, the shepherds that
Mhm.
function. Maybe there was a couple misstarts, and there's some
Oh
creepy
yes.
bad things that
Yes,
didn't
there are
quite congeal.
proto shepherds roaming the wastelands,
Yeah.
and those are monsters.
Yeah, they're monsters. They're not
Yeah,
the caretakers. They're the life takers. Yeah,
yeah, they take everything.
or
They will eat you.
it could even be the dragon created the necessary creatures for where it was at. Like, so for instance, the crash land, maybe the first thing that it did was create some defense because it was
Mhm.
slumbering. So it created some monstrous, but yeah, we can even call them proto shepherds, but they're not so nice.
Mhm.
And then I could see, and I can also just see some mistakes. I'm not really understanding the flora and fauna of the world and seeing the reaction that magic had, and that there could be pockets of
Exactly.
snake people
Also,
or
yeah. Also, I think there probably are a bunch of like magical weirdnesses that are not even intentionally made by the dragon.
yes,
Like
just by
him
the
crashing there was probably also not exactly his plan.
yeah,
So that probably just stuff happened that he had to kind of deal with, or at least live with, because like, oh, there's a wasteland with monsters.
That's
if there's monsters, how am I going to get food when the monsters eat them? So what am I doing now? So I think there's a bunch of weird stuff going on that the dragon
just almost like
didn't really want to
right?
happen.
Like radiation, like, you know, the radiation emanated, and it, you know, it turned a little swamp area into something deadly.
Yeah, look at Fallout as a good inspiration here. Like the death claws and all the other mutant creatures that are roaming the Fallout waste.
Listen, my friend,
like, similar to that.
Here's where we've gotten to, and we've got some ways to go, which is great. We might do some of this offline, but we've given everybody some bonus minutes because we're done.
Oh, are we already? Oh, yes.
I know. Time flies, doesn't it?
It does.
So,
good.
Yeah. And so one of the things that I was thinking about doing as far as an event goes is having a group creation session on Discord where we all get together and have a meeting in a room and get in on voice and just talk about all the various things and do some thunderdoming and some of these ideas. Is there a day in the next week that works for you? I mean, we could do it in place of a office hours. I know.
The question that makes this difficult is next week I am completely not at home because I'm visiting London with a friend. Yeah. And so I will be back on, let me see, the 5th. That's Thursday in 2 weeks.
Why don't we plan it then? Why don't we plan it? Let's do this. We'll plan a group session on the evening. You'll be back on the 5th, you said.
I should be back on the 5th. Yeah.
Okay. So why don't we plan then on the evening of the 5th instead of the regular office hours? We'll do a planning session that we'll invite everybody to. We'll still fill out some of this stuff, and we'll do some more of that next week. But okay, great. All right. Well, so take note of that, friends. We'll share calendar updates, but I do want to share something about
new things.
This. Look at our schedule. Okay, so we are right now here on Thursday, the 19th, getting tanked with Troy. That's tonight, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and it's really fun. So you get to hang out, and we just. Well, it's a joy. It's a really good time. Friends from across the TTRPG multiverse come and hang out. We ask questions. We have fun. Sometimes you need something from me. You might be looking for an answer on something. Maybe I forgot to do a thing for you. That isn't beyond the pale. Join us. All you have to do is go to atomicthinktank.com. Look for the events. You're going to see a little live beacon. That's tonight in just under an hour. It's a Zoom meeting. So you join us, we hang out, we talk, we have a rousing conversation. It's really a lot of fun. Now you can join, you can lurk if you like. You don't have to engage, but it's always fun if you do. And
please do.
What was that?
That please do. It's always good.
It's always fun. So we moved the actual play for Love is in the Arrow, part 1 of 15, I think. To the 22nd. We had some scheduled stuff, and that basically is an actual play run by Alex Thomas. We're going to have some of our members of the Cape and Cow Club. They'll be joining us. Then Monday is Moomamo. That's always fun. Then back to the Thursday fun. We'll do Thursday at 3 p.m. and then get tanked with Troy. And then that rounds out the month. We'll be looking at March, January, February, March. Yeah, we'll look at March and talk about the 5th event as we get closer to that date. But for now, again, just a reminder, join us at atomicthinktank.com in about an hour to join our conversations, getting tanked with Troy. Troy may or may not be sober. Also, join the grad.
Please do.
The Green Ronin Atomic Assembly Discord, which is our official community space on Discord. If you thought maybe you joined one a long time ago, well, maybe you did, but this is the one and true. I think with that, I want to thank my co-designer, the Duke in Purple, for joining today as we unlock the mysteries of the Slumberer's Burden. We'll continue to do that throughout. We hope you're enjoying. You as the arbiter keep an eye on Discord and also things at the Atomic Think Tank for updates and all kinds of fun stuff. But I think with that, we say thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and goodbye.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye. Thanks, Troy.
Yeah, well, my pleasure. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.